Welcome to another edition of FineScale Modeler Weekly. I'm Kendra Bell.
And I'm Tim Kidwell. When Fred Medell at Tamiya called to tell me about the company's new click lock system, I was super excited, guys. The only catch was that I had to wait until the products started to come out before I could talk to you about them. Well, that time is now.
That's right. Here are the first entries in Tamiya's new easy-to-assemble kit line, the 1/35th scale Fukuiraptor and Fukuisaurus.
Tamiya's new click lock system is meant to provide glue-free assembly without sacrificing details that would normally be found with kits requiring glue.
The Fukuiraptor kit includes 13 well-molded parts in tan plastic, and the Fukuisaurus comes with 11 molded in bright green. Both models press fit together with an interior piece that holds the body halves together rather than the halves joining directly.
The skin texture, foot and claw details, and even the teeth and mouth ridges on the Raptor are what you would expect from Tamiya. Both kits come with a base and a profile of a parent and a child to get an idea of how big these dinos were in real life.
The brief trifold instruction sheets provide assembly advice and information about the dinosaurs in each kit. The Fukuisaurus kit also includes a cardboard backdrop that you can color or paint to represent a scene from 120 million years ago to display your dinosaurs in front of.
As we said earlier, the kits are all press fit, and we'll see how our reviewer likes Tamiya's new click lock system. There are no callouts in the instructions for painting the dinosaurs. There are QR codes in the instructions for more information, but I wasn't able to get them to work as of time of filming.
In the meantime, know that there are more click lock kits in the works from Tamiya, and we're very interested in seeing what's next.
The first John Wick movie became a smash hit action thriller in 2014. One of the highlights from the film is Wick's 1969 Ford Mustang. Round 2 has revisited the old AMT 1969 Mustang kit and retooled portions of it to better represent the car you see in the movie.
In this new kit, the body has gotten a makeover to better replicate the movie car's appearance. You also get a new front spoiler, hood with molded hood pins, hood scoop, chin, side view mirrors, front and rear license plates, and rear spoiler.
The kit also supplied a new chrome-plated sprue with Magnum 500 wheels, rocker panels, front bumper, headlight buckets, and gas cap with a debossed Mustang.
Pad-printed tires round out the new parts. The new decal sheet provides markings to make the model as close to John Wick's chariot as possible, including black stripes, license plates, Mustang badging, gauges, and a windshield sticker. There's even 2 decals for the front and reverse of a blood oath marker if you'd like to fashion one for your model. Everything else in the kit dates back to the AMT 1969 Mach 1 released back in 2004.
The extensive bodywork isn't perfect. You'll need to take time to go around the body and clean up mold lines. Be careful while doing it that you don't eliminate a line that is supposed to be there. The older parts will have mold lines, flash, and ejector pin marks that you'll need to clean up too.
The instructions call out colors throughout, but the paint colors listed are generic. The body color, Hitman Gray, is listed as dark gray metallic or gunmetal.
I like that Round 2 has gone through the work to produce a more accurate kit for its John Wick license. It's probably not enough for purists, but for anyone looking to build a fair replica of the Chapter 1 movie car, this gets them a good chunk of the way there.
NASA launched Artemis II on April 1st of this year, and the Orion spacecraft took 4 astronauts on a 9-day odyssey that included the first crewed lunar flyby in 50 years.
Round 2 celebrates this historic achievement by re-releasing its 1/200 scale Artemis kit with new packaging, updated decals, and a full-color paint and marking guide. For anyone who had the original Artemis kit, the plastic in the box will be nothing new. 38 big, nicely molded parts on thick sprues to make sure plenty of plastic gets through the substantial rocket halves. Cleanup is minimal all around.
In keeping with the previous edition and other kits Round 2 has produced, decal placement is shown on the sides of the box tray in full color. The updated decal sheet includes America 250th anniversary markings, optional pre-flight panels, and panels with and without the surrounding orange line for those who may prefer to paint that particular detail. Another great addition is the large Artemis mission logo sticker that you can use wherever you like. It's not, however, sized to fit the logo on the base.
Some of you may remember Aaron Skinner built the AMT Artemis kit for the FineScale Modeler March-April 2024 issue. We worked with Round 2 to help them reprint that article as a 12-page painting guide to help modelers finish their Artemis. In it, Aaron goes through the steps to prime, mask, and airbrush the Artemis space launch system.
This year, the world watched as 4 scientists traveled to the moon and back. What better way to commemorate the event than building your very own model of the system that got them off the ground?
At about 3 dozen parts, the model is quick, easy, and painless to build. The challenges really are paint and markings, and with the new guidance in the kit, you shouldn't have trouble completing it. And it would make an excellent starter kit or buddy project for a novice who really likes spaceships.
Roden first released its 1/72nd scale Fairchild C123B provider back in 2014. Since, it has reissued the kit with new parts for 3 other variants. This year, Roden has gone back and released a new version, the C123J.
The C123J was a modification of the B for use in Arctic conditions, and only 10 aircraft underwent the conversion. They saw heavy use in Alaska in 1964 after an earthquake and tsunami devastated Anchorage, Valdez, Seward, and Kodiak.
There are 11 sprues of dark gray and clear parts in the kit. In the main, the parts exhibit good details and good panel lines. On our sample, there was a fair amount of flash to clean up, and the spot forward of the nose window was cracked. Just things you want to be aware of as you're getting ready to build the kit.
Control surfaces are well defined, and the wings and horizontal stabilizers assemble from halves. The 2 Pratt & Whitney R2800 double wasp radial engines have just the right amount of detail for what you'll see through the closed cowls. Clear parts provide all the windows plus the cockpit roof. You'll need to mask to paint the cockpit windows properly.
Sprue J is the big addition to this kit, which includes the skis for the landing gear, the nose conversion, and the parts for the Fairchild J44R3 booster engines for the wings that allowed the J to take off from short Arctic runways. A new decal sheet provides markings for 3 aircraft with the 144th Airlift Squadron, Alaska Air National Guard, 176th Wing. C123J 564393 with the Air Force Outstanding Unit Award ribbon painted on the nose, Fairchild Provider 564395 at the Museum of Alaska Transportation and Industry, and C123J 564391 flying out of Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, Anchorage, Alaska in 2 different schemes.
If you're into big, unusual mid-20th century aircraft, this would be the kit for you. I'm partial to it because I'm from Alaska, and I think the paint schemes are cool.
Look for reviews of the Tamiya dinosaurs and other kits in upcoming issues of FineScale Modeler magazine and at FineScale.com,
where you can find plenty of how-to stories, scale modeling tips and tricks, show galleries, videos, and more.
And don't forget to subscribe to FineScale Modeler magazine. It's easy. Just click the link in the description for a special offer for those who watch FSM.
I've been to a lot of shows this year, and many of you keep coming up to me and asking how to deal with fatigue at the workbench and handshake. Now, I'm no doctor, but what I can do is share some of the tips and techniques that have worked for me over the years. I'm going to start with workbench height. Now, I'm going to take you into the Wayback Machine. My dad, many years ago, decades ago, used to do a lot of modeling over just a typical desk, which is about 28, 29 inches high. That's the typical surface height for desks. And when he rebuilt his workshop, he decided that what he was going to do is raise his work surface because he was finding that he was having handshake and he was also having a lot of problems with his back. And what he did was raise his work surface to 36 inches, which is typical kitchen counter height, which is where I have this workbench set currently. So what that allows me to do is work standing up at the workbench. Everything is in a good position for me, just typically at 36 inches. I'm not hunching or anything like that. Now, once you get going, and let's say you're going to do some fine detail work, here's where some adjustments start to come in. This is when I introduce a chair into the mix. Now, this is a fancy dandy office chair with rollers. The one I have at home is just a simple IKEA chair, but the important thing is this. They're both about 18, 19 inches high. So when I sit down at the workbench, that brings everything that I'm working on much closer, okay? So let's say I'm working on this handsome fellow. The first thing I'm going to tell you is if you are doing close work like figures, a handle is very useful for not only keeping you from touching your figure, but also because it gives you something solid to hold on to. You can rest the handle on your workbench and then still turn your figure to however you need to get it. And then also, because I'm working at the workbench, I can just go ahead and use the workbench itself as a support. Now, some handles are fancier than others. This is a very basic handle, but some have like an extra flange or bit that kind of sticks up like this, shaped like that. And what you can do is use that as a support for your brush hand. Now, I typically will just use my finger as a support, and that helps to eliminate handshake too, okay? If you're doing work at your workbench like this, you might find that you rest your forearms on the edge of your workbench a lot. I know I do. This one, because it's rounded, isn't so bad. The one I have at home has some sharp edges to it. You can go out and you can buy, let's say, a keyboard hand rest, which will fit along the edge of your workbench and soften this edge. I don't need anything that special. I just usually keep 3 or 4 old dish towels around for uses like this. And just being able to do that as a rest, that works very well. I can also double it up and do this. Another option is if you are thinking about it, and before you go ahead and throw away some foam from a package that you may have received, what you can do is save part of that, because that'll work as a nice rest as well. Something else I keep at the workbench is a shop stool, or a bar stool will work just as well. The important thing is that they're typically about 29 to 30 inches tall. Now, as I said, I do a lot of my modeling at the workbench standing up, but sometimes feet start to get tired and it's nice to just have somewhere to rest your keister. But more importantly, let's say you're at the workbench and you're working on something tall. Like this 1/32 scale TIE fighter, or maybe a ship with rigging. But you can get hand tremor while you're up here working on that. And what I like to do is prop my knee up, my leg up here, and then put my elbow on my knee, and then use my offhand. And I know some of you are left-handed, I'm right-handed. Use my offhand as that support that we were talking about earlier. That support is just enough to help eliminate any handshake that I might have. Now, I can't fix hand tremor, and none of these tips or techniques are necessarily going to be able to eliminate handshake entirely if you have a more severe case of it. But what it can do is help minimize it. And if you don't have real bad handshake, it could eliminate it all told. Remember, I am not a doctor, so I can only share with you the techniques that have helped me.
So Tim, the last show that you went and took photos at was our biggest show, and that's IPMS USA Nationals.
Yes, it is the largest modeling convention, modeling contest in North America. It was in Fort Wayne, Indiana this time, and the leads, John Figueroa and Steve Bacon, just hit it out of the park with this show. More than 3,000 models were on the contest tables. I mean, it's huge.
That's an incredible turnout.
It's a lot. Tiger Meet, which is the non-contest portion of the show, had more than 1,000 models on the tables. So I all told, 4,000 models for everybody to take a look at. They were doing seminars. It was just fantastic.
So yeah, that's a great turnout. That's a lot of models. I take it you got some video.
I got video. We also shot photos at the photo booth. And I gotta say, thank you so much for everybody who came up and had very kind words about what we do here at FSM, both on video and at the magazine. And yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the video I shot.
fine. The 135 scale,
No.
135th scale.
The first. Is that coming through the mic?
Fairchild.
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 Sorry.
That's okay. Scale. Fairchild C21.
It's like I could see you deflate.
I was like,
Oh.
I almost had it.